And welcome everybody to Headlock Field, where in today's matchup is the visiting South Portland Red Riots versus the home team, the Deering Rams. So starting with Deering, last year they went 2-12 in the regular season and lost to Portland 11-3 in the play-in round. They didn't have a season that they wanted last year, but it's a brand new season. It's a home opener for them. They haven't started off quite like they wanted to, losing to Marshwood 11-7 and Noble 7-2, but they're at home now. Let's see if they can have a home field advantage to start this season. So the starting batting order for Deering is Avery Lawrence, Tavion Lachore, Quest Newhall, Dempsey Brady, Connor Coleman, Drew Hamilton, Jack Forrest as the DH, Sam Rank, and Ethan Corson, rounding off Deering's batting order. Now for South Portland, coming into this game, they had a extra inning win. It was a error by Bonnie Eagle, and with 2 outs. So South Portland comes away with their first win of the season, and they are this year defending their Class A state title, and it was their first for Mike Owens, the head coach. They went 16-5, including the playoff run. So it's going to be a good season for them, especially with 7 starters returning from last year's championship team. And their lineup, batting order, is Johnny Poole, Andrew Haffernan, Richard Gilboy, Nolan Hobbs, Kenny Carlisle, Ryan Thorber, Finn O'Connell as the DH, Alex Domingos, and to round off South Portland's lineup is Jack Howell.
Play ball for the Deering Rams home opener. Ladies and gentlemen, at this time we would ask that you please rise as we honor America and those who protect her with the playing of our national anthem.
Setting Deering defensively from left to right is Sam Rank in the outfield, Quest Newhall, and Ethan Corson in the infield from left to right. Tavion LaChore, Avery Lawrence, Drew Hamilton, and Eric Christopher. The catcher is Dempsey Brady, and the starting pitcher for Deering is Connor Coleman. And here we go for the start of the game. Leading off for South Portland is the shortstop, Johnny Poole. First pitch is fouled back. And it's popped up. And Ethan Corson gets the catch for the first out.
The third baseman, number 2, Andrew Heffernan.
Now batting is the third baseman, Andrew Heffernan. And swing and a miss for strike one.
Yeah, that was a nice long run out there in right field to catch up with that ball up near the line. And
outside for ball one, it's 1-1.
And both left and right field, once you get past the infield, there's a wall up near the lines.
Outside for ball two. And it's in there for strike two. It's a 2-2 count. And it's swing and a miss. So that's the second out for Deering.
The catcher, number 12, Richard Gilboy.
Now batting is Richard Gilboy, the catcher. It's on the outside corner of the plate for strike one. It's outside for ball one. It's 1-1 count. And it's popped up. It's in foul territory. And Dempsey Brady gets the catch for the third out. And so good starting pitching from Connor Coleman for Deering, especially with South Portland in their lineup. And so it's South Portland 0, Deering coming up. Setting defensively for South Portland in the outfield from left to right is Alex Domingos, Ryan Thornber, and Kenny Carlisle. In the infield, left to right, Andrew Heffernan, Johnny Poole, Jack Howell, and Nick Swain. The catcher is Richard Gilboy, and the starting pitcher for South Portland today is Nolan Hobbs. Deering up to bat. Leading off for them is the shortstop, Avery Lawrence. It's on the outside corner for strike one. See if Deering can take the lead. Outside and low.
Yeah, I was trying to
for,
get the same call, but that one was a little further outside.
and it's fouled back. It's a 1-2 count.
Outfield shifted to the right and in.
And you can tell by the way he's pitching that they want him to hit it to the right side of the field. And it's hit out to right center, and the center fielder, Ryan Thurnber, gets the first out.
The third baseman, number 6, Kay Lochur.
Now batting is Tavion Lachore, third baseman. And swing and a miss for strike one. Inside corner for strike two. Outside. It's 1-2 count. And it's foul tipped for strike three.
The center fielder, number 3.
So 2 outs with the center fielder Quest Newhall batting for Deering. It's low and outside.
You know, we're at Hadlock Field where the Sea Dogs play, and when high school ball
Strike one.
and when high school ball is played here, they don't get to use all the features the Sea Dogs get to use, like how fast the pitcher is throwing the ball.
Strike two on the outside corner. And it's hit, but it's foul. Still 1-2 count with 2 outs. And it's in there for ball 2. Outside for ball 3. So full count for Newhall. And it's outside for ball 4.
And we'll keep our eye on Newhall at first to see what kind of a lead he has. And we'll let you know if he's going to take off or not.
Now batting for Deering is the catcher, Dempsey Brady.
Newhall with a halfway decent lead.
It's outside on the outside corner for strike one. Nick Swain holding Newhall on. And it's strike two.
Wow, that thing just dropped right over. I think the batter was a little surprised it was a called strike, but it was over the plate.
And it's inside for ball 1. And a throw over. It's not in time. And it's hit into the gap. First and second.
And Newhall stops at second.
So Dempsey Brady gets the first hit of the game.
Pitcher number 13.
Yeah, and so with 2 outs, Deering's putting something together here.
Now batting is the pitcher Connor Coleman.
With a chance to help himself.
And it's low for ball 1. And Hobbs has gotten himself into a 2-out jam. It's outside for ball 2.
Well, in high school ball, the umpire usually has a pretty wide strike zone, so those pitches really have to be way outside.
And it's hit to the third baseman, Andrew Hoffernan, and he throws him out.
Beautiful play.
So Hobbs gets out of that jam without letting up any runs. And so after one complete inning, it's South Portland 0, Deering 0. So here we go for the top of the second. Leading off for South Portland is the pitcher Nolan Hobbs. And it's hit foul.
Well, as you know, Seth, attending many Sea Dogs games that we do, that the Expo takes a beating. Thankfully, there are no windows. The roof takes a beating, though.
It's in there for strike 2.
Wow. That was a high pitch, but Hobbs is a tall batter.
And it's way high for ball 1.
Well, maybe that was just a wasted pitch to see if he'd swing at it.
And it's hit to LaChore and misplays it.
And we'll have to see what the official scorer calls that. And what does he call it?
And so it's an error on LaChore.
And we'll keep our eye out on Hobbs at first.
Kenny Carlisle.
Now batting is the right fielder, Kenny Carlisle.
Hobbs has got a decent lead.
It's in there for strike 1. And it's high for ball 1. It's 1-1 count. And it's popped up foul for strike 2.
And I don't see any little kids in the stands to track down the baseballs to give them back, so it looks like some of the adults are in action. And the way these stands are, they could just wait as it rolls down and then pick it up.
And it's fouled back into the net. It's up high for ball 2. It's a 2-2 count.
And you got to wonder, I know there's no outs, but you got to wonder at what point is Hobbs going to take off.
And it's in there for strike 3.
Well, that was one of those gracious enlarged strike zone strikes.
So now batting for South Portland is the center fielder Ryan Thurber. Up high for ball 1. And Hobbs takes off, but it's hit foul.
He had a good jump.
Once in a while, Henry, first one of the year.
Oh, yes, you're right, Don. It's ones across the board. And we'll show you what Don's referring to. Everything out there is zeros and ones, and we're not talking computer language, we're talking scoreboard language.
And swing and a miss for strike 2. And Hobbs takes off again, and it's hit out to right field. And Ethan Corson takes the one hop.
The designated hitter, number 9.
Well, now Deering's in a little trouble here with one out.
So it's first and third for South Portland with Finn O'Connell at the plate. It's one out. Thurber takes off, and catcher only throws back to the pitcher.
Yeah, you had to kind of figure that was going to be a given right there. I believe it was a ball.
And in there for strike 1.
Nope. Don, I take that back. It's 2 strikes.
In there for strike 3. Now batting is the left fielder, Alex Domingos. Domingos has a chance to knock in 2 runs with Hobbs at third and Thurber at second. It's in there for ball 1. And it's right down the middle for a strike. It's a 1-1 count.
And the pitcher for Portland for Deering is definitely trying to work himself out of this one.
And it's popped up. And the right fielder, Corson, gets the third out. So Coleman gets out of that jam in the top of the second. So after 1.5 innings, it's still tied 0-0. And here we go for the bottom of the second. Leading off for Deering is Drew Hamilton, the first baseman. Sorry, the second baseman. It's a 1-0 count. It's in there for strike one. Evens the count at 1. It's down low for a ball. And it's fouled for strike 2. And it's a swinging strikeout for Hamilton. So 1 away with the designated hitter Jackson Forrest at the plate. On the outside corner, strike 1. It's a swing for strike 2.
Little late on the swing.
Outside for ball 1. It's a 1-2 count. And it's a swing for strike 3, and the catcher dropped it and had to throw to first.
Yeah, he attempted to tag him, but you know, this is one of those times that the batter realized he had dropped it and started running up the baseline.
And at the plate for Deering is the left fielder, Sam Rank. It's ball 1. Down the middle for strike 1.
So they've automatic walk. You don't have to throw the pitch 4 times. So that kind of takes the, you know, what used to happen sometimes, a wild pitch on a walk attempt.
It's down low for ball 2. It's a 2-2 count.
But the thing that's still in the game of baseball is if the catcher drops it on a third strike, he has to throw it down.
And it's ball 3, so it's a full count with 2 outs.
And sometimes when he throws it down, he can throw it away and the batter gets on.
And it's a swing for strike 3. So Hobbs strikes out the side in the bottom of the second. And so after 2 full innings, it's still knotted up at 0-0. Now leading off for South Portland is Jack Houle. And it's high and inside for ball 1. And Houle is the second baseman. And it's fouled off. It's a 1-1 count. And it's popped up to the shortstop. And Lawrence gets the first out in the top of the third.
The shortstop, number 14, Johnny Poole.
Back to the top of the lineup for South Portland is Johnny Poole. And it's hit into the gap between third and shortstop. So Poole gets a one-out single.
And that was a good rip.
The third baseman, number 2, Andrew Heffernan.
And
Now batting is Andrew Heffernan.
we'll keep our eye out on Poole, and he's got a good lead over there.
Poole takes off, and it's going to not be in time. And it goes out into the outfield, but not far enough for Poole to move to third.
And South Portland's trying to manufacture a run here again for the second straight inning.
And it's fouled back for strike one. And it's up high for ball two. And Poole takes off. So another stolen base.
I mean, the catcher saw him taking off, and by the time he got the ball, there wasn't even any reason whatsoever to throw down to third.
And it's hit to the third baseman, LaChore, and it's in time for the second out, but it's not in time. And it's another error. On LaChore, and Poole came in to score. And another steal is not in time, so Heffernan gets the second. So Poole, on that error, came in to score, so it's 1-0 South Portland. Richard Gilboy at the plate. And a swing strike. It's 1-1 count. And it's past the first baseman, Christopher, and Heffernan is going to come in to score.
Right down the line, nothing the first baseman could do about that one. Hard hit.
So Gilboy gets an RBI single.
The pitcher, number 22, Nolan Hobbs.
Now Nolan Hobbs is at the plate for South Portland.
We'll see if the stolen base parade keeps it going.
And Gilboy takes off. And it's not in time.
Well, that one was a little closer, though. Well, with one out, South Portland's really got something going here now.
And it's high and inside for ball 2. And it's hit into left. And it's off the wall. And Gilboy comes around and scores. So Hobbs gets a extra bases hit. So
Yep.
that's the 3rd run for South Portland.
Yeah, I mean that hit just off the bottom of the wall, but you know, with the left fielder playing in, there was no way of catching it. It was just a matter of where it was going to hit the wall.
And Kenny Carlisle at the plate for South Portland. It's up high for ball 1. And the time called by the batter.
Yeah, pitcher trying to hold the runner at second a little closer to the bag.
And Hobbs takes off. It's thrown over. Not in time. So South Portland 5 for 5 on stolen bases. And it's past LaChore. And Carlisle stops at second for a double. But it's Hobbs scoring the 4th run for South Portland.
Wow.
Ryan Thurber at the plate.
We've had a first base side line hugging hard hit ball, and now a third base line hard hitting ball.
It's in there for strike 1. Strike 2. And it's hit into no man's land.
Oh, and no one was at second, so the batter made it down to second base. He looked and saw no one there and just kept going, rounded first.
So Thurber gets a hit. And it's second and third for South Portland with Finn O'Connell at the plate.
Still only one out.
It's up high for ball 1. And it's fouled near the South Portland dugout.
Yeah, up into the net, just above the dugout. Net's all the way around here at Hadlock Field.
1-1 count. In there for strike 2. And it's a strike 3. And Carlisle comes in to score.
Yeah, I hesitated moving the camera up to first where he's going to throw it out because I had a sense that the runner was going to come running home, and he did.
The left fielder, number 8.
I think the catcher knew that too,
Dominguez.
but he had to throw down to first.
And at the plate is Alex Domingos.
I mean, he basically traded an out for a run, but you needed the out.
Strike 1. So 1-1 count. And it's hit into center field. And that's going to score Thorber. So it's 6-0 South Portland on Dominguez's single.
The second baseman, number 23, Jack Poole.
Now batting is Jack Houle, who started off this inning for South Portland. And it's popped up and it's foul.
So South Portland is batted around. And at this point, we'll see if they keep trying to steal bases.
And Domingos takes off, and it's not in time.
Yeah, he was safe by a mile.
So South Portland is 7 for 7 on stolen bases. It's the 0-2 pitch, and it's outside for ball 1. So Coleman has a chance to get Deering out of this inning. It's in there for a strike 3. And so that ends the top of the third, but not after South Portland has a hitting spree to score 6 runs. And so after 2.5, it's South Portland 6, Deering nothing. So leading off for Deering is Ethan Corson. And it's a foul, strike 1.
I think the umpire is letting the catcher go out for a split second because I think that went off his arm and then his shin pads. So he's giving him a couple of seconds for the stinger to go away.
And it's swing for strike 2. And it's in there for strike 3.
The shortstop, number 5, Avery Lawrence.
Back to the top of the lineup is Avery Lawrence at the plate. Outside for ball 1. And it's swing and a miss for strike 1. And it's a foul tipped into the catcher's glove for strike 2. And he went around.
First base umpire, they appealed, and he said he went around. You're right.
The Ram third baseman, number 6, Kay Lochur.
So Tay Lachor at the plate. It's 2 outs. It's in there for strike 1. Ball 1. It's 1-1 count. And it's a swing for strike 2. And it's strike 3.
Oh, that was nasty pitch.
So Hobbs strikes out the side again. And so after 3 complete innings, it's South Portland 6, Deering nothing. Leading off for South Portland in the top of the 4th is Johnny Poole. Foul back. South Portland last inning shows why they won the title last year for Class A boys.
Well, in your pregame introduction, you did say they had a number of starters from last year coming back, correct?
Yes, they have 7 of their starters from last year's championship team. So you can tell that they're ready for to defend their title. And that was a fly out to center field, Newhall.
The Red Riot third baseman, number 2, Andrew Heffernan.
Andrew Heffernan at the plate. 1 out. And it's up over the batter's head.
Yeah, it's tough to play a team that's got almost a whole complete team coming back from a state title.
It's outside for ball 2. And it's hit out to Newhall for the second out. And both outs are to Newhall. So with 2 outs, Richard Gilboy at the plate. Up high for ball 1. It's fouled back. It's 1-1 count.
And it was supposed to rain this afternoon. I think a few sprinkles, but it's holding off, which is good to get the baseball game in.
And it's up high for ball 2.
This time of year when it rains, it's a little bit colder than it will be in about a month.
And it's hit to left field where Rank gets the third out. And so, quick inning for Deering in the top of the 4th. So after 3.5 innings, it's still South Portland 6, Deering nothing. So here we go for the bottom of the 4th. Lineup changes for South Portland. Nolan Hobbs goes to first, taking the place of Nick Swain. And now pitching is Michael Bakari. So it's 2-0 count. For Quest Newhall, who's at the plate. And it's foul back for strike 1.
So we'll see what this pitcher can do. How many strikeouts did Hobbs have?
He had 7.
He had 7 through 3 innings.
And it's fouled back for strike 2.
Well, I'm surprised they took him out, but, you know, this with the 6-run lead, it gives another pitcher an opportunity to throw the ball. And
it's way out in front of the plate for ball 3. So it's a full count with no outs. And it's ball 4. So Deering gets a walk to start the 4th. Dempsey Brady at the plate. And it's in the dirt for ball 1. And it's just going to be 1 for South Portland. Newhall gets the second. So Brady with 4-3 out. Connor Coolman batting.
well, a chance here for Deering to chip away at the 6-0 lead for South Portland with a runner now in scoring position.
Outside for ball 1. And it's foul back. It's 1-1 count.
And if you're going to make it out, he hit it perfect. He hit it to the right side of the field, which allowed the runner to move up to second. So it's a productive out.
It's in there for strike 2. And it's by the catcher. So Newhall moves over.
Well, the good thing about this is a fly ball to the outfield potentially could score this run. So we'll have to see what happens.
It's a 2-2 count. It's one out. And it's in the dirt. It's a full count with one out. Newhall at third. And it's a swing and a miss. Strike three.
That was a good outside pitch, too.
The second baseman, number 1.
Drew Hamilton at the plate with 2 outs.
Yeah, on that pitch, it was either going to be a strikeout swinging or a strikeout called because it was right where it needed to be.
And Hamilton doesn't get there in time. And Hobbs flipped it to Bakari for the third out, stranding Newhall at third. So after 4 complete, it's still 6-0. Leading off for South Portland is Nolan Hobbs. In there for strike one.
And same Portland pitcher here. Don't see anyone warming up.
It's in the dirt for ball one. Up high. It's 2-1 count. It's on the outside corner for strike two. And it's hit up the middle for a leadoff single.
The right fielder, number 27, Kenny Carlisle.
Kenny Carlisle at the plate.
And we'll see if the being up by 6 runs slows down the stolen base parade. We'll find out.
And it's inside for ball one.
Hobbs with a good-sized lead over there at first.
It's in there for strike one. It's 1-1 count. No outs, runner on first. And it's on the outside corner for strike two. And it's foul tipped. Still 1-2 count. And Hobbs takes off, and it's bobbled by Brady.
Yeah, he was trying, but he struck out the batter. He was trying to, get the ball out of the glove, and transfer was not there.
Number 1, Ryan Thurber.
Ryan Thurber at the plate with Hobbs at second. low and inside for ball one. It's high and inside for ball two. And Brady goes out to talk to Coleman. And it's hit to Lawrence. And it's not in time. So Thurber beats out the throw.
That was good. Some good hustle right there. Because that usually is a typical routine ground ball to the shortstop and you're out.
The designated hitter, number 9, Finn O'Connell.
Finn O'Connell at the plate with runners on first and second. Strike one. It's ball one. It's 1-1 count. And just swing and a miss.
Had the batter fooled on that one. Had a good curve to that. Ooh. Pitcher was just about in his windup and time was called.
It's up high. So it's 2-2 count for O'Conley. And it's hit to LaChore, and he tags third for the force out, getting Hobbs.
The left fielder, number 8, Alex Domingos.
So it was a fielder's choice. So with 2 outs, Alex Domingos at the plate. Still runners are on at first and second.
Yeah, that was a good play at third. He's a little closer to the line because, as happened earlier in the game, they had a nice double down the line.
Strike one on the outside corner. And Thorber takes off, and it's in to left field. And that's going to bring Thorber in. And O'Connell all the way to third.
Now that's manufacturing a run Because when that ball starts getting thrown around, you never know where it's going to end up. And it ended up with another run for South Portland.
So it's a throwing error on the catcher. It's a 2-1 count. With O'Connell at third. In there for strike 2. Coleman 1 strike away from getting out of this inning. And it's hit out to center field. And Newhall gets the third out. But not after South Portland gets another run on the board. So after 4.5, it's South Portland 7, Deering nothing.
1 run.
Here we go for the bottom of the 5th. Leading off for Deering is Jackson Forrest. It's fouled back into the net. Strike 1. And it's in there for strike 2.
Yeah, that was either a called strike or he went across the plate. One or the other.
And it's into the dirt for ball 1. It's fouled back. And swing for strike 3. It's the first out of the inning.
The left fielder, number 34, Sam Rank.
Sam Rank at the plate. In there for strike 1. So South Portland has a combined 9 strikeouts between the two pitchers, Hobbs and Bakari. Make that 10. So South Portland with double-digit strikeouts this game. Ethan Corson at the plate. And he hits it up the middle for a 2-out single.
Okay, everything happens with 2, right?
It does.
So let's see what Deering can do.
The red shortstop, number 5, Avery Lawrence.
Back to the top of the lineup, Avery Lawrence at the plate with Corson on at first, and it's a swing for strike 1. And it's by the catcher. It was in the dirt and went between his legs.
Yeah, this pitcher for South Portland is really keeping the catcher literally literally on his toes because he's had a lot of 58 or 59 foot fastballs when it needs to be like 60.
And Bakari stepped off. Up high for ball 2. And it's foul ball. So it's a 2-2 count with 2 outs. Runner on second. And it's a pickoff by Gilboy to third to get Corson on the stolen base attempt. So after 5 complete, it's still South Portland 7, Deering nothing. So lineup change for Deering. Dempsey Brady goes from the catcher to pitcher. Connor Coleman goes from pitcher to shortstop. Jackson Forrest was the DH, is now catching. And Avery Lawrence taken out of the game for fielding. And it's hit to Rank in left field. And he gets the first out. And that was on Jack Howell. So back to the top of the lineup, Johnny Poole. And it's to right field this time. So 2 quick outs.
Third baseman number 2, Andrew Heffernan.
Andrew Heffernan now batting with 2 outs.
And the rain is coming in.
It's ball 1.
I don't know what the rain policy is for high school baseball, but South Portland does have a 7-0 lead, and we are in the top of the 6th.
And it's over the shortstop's head for a 2-out single by Heffernan.
The catcher number 12, Richard Gilboy.
So Richard Gilboy at the plate with Heffernan at first. And that one's roped into center field, and Heffernan going to third standing up. So another single.
So after 2 quick outs, it's 2 quick runners on the bases.
Nolan Hobbs at the plate with Heffernan at third and Gilboy at first. And Gilboy takes off. And only throwing back to the pitcher. So South Portland now has 2 players in scoring position with 2 outs. It's up high for ball 2. It's outside. It's a 2-1 count. And it's foul ball.
And now we have 2s across the board up there, as Don pointed out. A little bit of fun between the announcer of the game and the film crew.
And it's up high for ball 4. So bases are loaded with Kenny Carlisle
The right fielder, number 27.
at the
Kenny
plate.
Carlisle.
Needless to say, there is no wind, so the wind is not blowing out in case he hits it up in the air.
And it's in the dirt, but it's not far enough for anyone to move up.
But I do have to say, the outfielders are not playing deep. So anything over their head or anything in between them, South Portland will be rounding the bases.
And it's hit to Coleman. And Carlisle is safe. So an RBI single for Carlisle.
Number 1, Ryan Thurber.
Ryan Thurber at the plate still. And it's popped up. And no one catches it, so it's a foul ball.
Well, you know, they were getting pretty close to the dugout, but I have to say there could have been a little bit better communication. Like, you got room, you got room, you got room, and you know, maybe he could have tried to catch it. I don't know.
Low and outside for ball 1. It's 1-1 count.
I mean, and we're up here and up in the press box, and so, you know, maybe I didn't hear it, but I didn't hear it.
And it's a pop up in the infield, and Coleman
Oh, snow coned it.
comes in and gets a third out. But South Portland puts another run on the board to make it 8. And so after 5.5, It's South Portland 8, Deering nothing.
One run, 3 hits.
And here we go for the bottom of the 6th. Pitching change for South Portland. Nick Swain is in at pitcher. And Michael Bakari moves over to second. Strike 1. It's 1-1 count. It's a 2-2 count. It's 3-2 count.
So he's battled back.
Avery Lawrence at the plate. And it's foul back. And it's hit to Bakari and goes by him. So it's an error on Bakari.
The third baseman, number 6, Tay Lochur.
It's in there, strike 1 on Taylor Shore. It's a 0-2 count. Lawrence on at first. And it's strike 3.
The center fielder, number 3,
Quest Newhall at the plate. So that's the 11th strikeout for South Portland. Outside for ball 1. And it's hit out to shallow center for the second out.
The pitcher, number 33, Dempsey Brady.
Dempsey Brady at the plate now for Deering. It's 2 outs. Lawrence on at first. And it's strike 1. Lawrence takes off. And it's not in time. So that's the first stolen base for Deering in this game. It's a 1-1 count. And it's a strike. It's 1-2 count. 2 outs. Lawrence on at second. And it's ball 2.
Yeah, it's raining here, and baseball could start getting a little slippery.
And it's strike 3.
Well, that looked a little generous.
And so Deering strands a runner. And so after 6 complete, it's South Portland 8, Deering nothing. Here we go for the top of the 7th. Couple lineup changes. Sam Rank is at first. Drew Hamilton is in left. And it's hit to Coleman, and it's past the first baseman. So it's an error on Coleman.
Your attention batting for Dominguez, number 6, Nate Rendy.
So Connell on at first. So Nate Rendy batting for Alex Domingos. It's a 1-1 count. It's 2-1 count. It's outside for ball 3. And ball 4. So an error and a walk puts 2 on with no outs for South Portland.
Batting for Hoole, number 16, Sam Kierstead.
Sam Kierstead batting for Johnny Poole. It's ball 1.
Rain coming down a little bit heavier now.
In the dirt for ball 2. And it's by Forrest.
The runner on second, I mean, he was looking like, should I go? Shouldn't I go? And he ended up going to third. But the runner stayed on at first. I think that was we're up by 8, top of the 7th. We're not going to run on the wild pitch, but I think the runner on second instinctively, after a second, took off.
And it's fouled back. It's a 3-1 count. And it's ball 4.
Oh, bases loaded. Nobody out here in the top of the 7th.
Number 20, Cam Cloutier.
And it's a foul ball. Camden Cloutier at the plate. It's a 1-1 count. Strike 2. And it's fouled back.
Just enough of that to stay alive. South Portland in this game has definitely had some long half innings.
And it's flipped to the second baseman.
Well, they got one out, but a run comes in.
Your attention now batting for Heffernan, number 21, McCoy Murphy.
So batting for Heffernan is McCoy Murphy. In there for strike 1.
So now it's 9-0, and South Portland here on the top of the 7th with runners on first and third. Only one out.
In there for strike 2.
Well, the pitcher stepped off because the runner for South Portland at first had the lead of a lifetime over there.
And swing strike 3 for the second out.
Your attention, batting for Gilboy, number 30, Leo Lomangino.
Now batting for Gilboy is Leo Lemangino.
And you can see the depth of the South Portland bench because they're emptying it here in the top of the 7th. Well, I don't think the runner had intended to go to second, but after the ball came out of the catcher's glove and rolled away, he just strolled over there.
Second and third. It's a 3-0 count. Nate Rendy at third. Camden Cloutier at second. And it's in there for strike 1. And it's popped up in foul territory. So it's a 3-2 count. 2 outs.
And the pitcher's battled back here. Let's see if he can strike him out here.
And it's popped up again. And it's caught by Rank for the third out. And so after 6.5, it's South Portland 9, Deering nothing. And here we go for the last ups for Deering.
The Deering batter is number 13, Connor Coleman.
Connor Coleman at the plate. Alex Leupold, the new pitcher for South Portland. And it's hit into center. And it's just a single.
Well, you got to start somewhere.
Number 1, Drew Hamilton.
Drew Hamilton at the plate. It's in there for strike 1. So Nate Rendy is in left, and Sam Kierstead is at second for South Portland. It's a 1-1 count. And throw over attempt. It's not in time. And it's in the dirt for ball 2.
Nice stop by the catcher.
It's ball 3. And ball 4.
Around catcher number 28, Jackson Forrest.
So Jackson Forrest now up with no outs. Coleman at second. Hamilton at first. It's outside for ball 1. And Gilboy's going to talk to the pitcher. Settle things down.
Yeah, at this point, with South Portland leading 9-0, I think they would just like to not let up even a run and just have a shutout.
And so South Portland, if they can not let up a run, and it's to Heffernan, tags third and throws to first for a double play.
Oh, boy. That was a good play right there. I mean, the ball wasn't hit hard, so he had to get over to the third base bag and then throw over to first, but he did it all in plenty of time.
Sam Rank at the plate. 1-0 count. It's in there for strike 1. So as I was saying, if South Portland can get this final out, they'll have 14 scoreless innings so far this season. Actually, 15 because they went into the 8th inning to win their game against their first game.
Well, and that's a pretty good stat for your defending state champions.
2-2 count. 2 outs. Hamilton on at second. And swing and a miss. And there's your ball game. South Portland with dominant pitching throughout this game. They had 13 strikeouts this game. And South Portland just showed how dominant they are and why they won the title last year. And Deering doesn't need to hang their heads, especially with the team they just played. And they, outside of that 6-run inning for South Portland, Deering played them pretty well.
Yeah, it's a tough proposition to, as we stated earlier, and you gave the stat of having so many returning starters from a state championship ball team, to to try to muscle in a win. They got the experience, they got the pitching talent, as you stated. They've through 15 innings haven't let up a run yet. Defensively, they looked really good. It's tough.
Especially when you're getting strikeouts and the other team's not getting a lot of hits. And it also didn't help that Deering had 3 errors in the game, but that's fixable going into the next game. And this is the benchmark team, so every other team is trying to chase South Portland. So, well, there you go. It's South Portland comes out a winner. They move to 2-0 on the season, and Deering moves to 0-3. And so we'll catch you the next home game for Deering, which will be Thursday. And saying so long and have a good night.
This has been a production of WPPS TV3, Portland Public Schools television station. Thanks.